The new film Obsession, man, there's a lot to say about this one. It's creepy, it's menacing, but it's probably also one of the best horror films that I've seen this year just because the story is so captivating from beginning to end. Well, as the saying goes, be careful what you wish for. So the story of this one is that it follows a guy named Bear who ends up buying a supernatural toy that allows him one wish that he uses on his childhood friend Nikki to have her to fall in love with him. But it ends up resulting in horrific consequences. And from there is a horror film that I found to be quite exciting, inducing. I was nervous. This is one of those edge of your seat thrillers that I know a lot of people out there are just flat out going to enjoy because it slowly builds up to the third act. And once it gets to its conclusion, this is one of those movies that will stay with you for a long time just because the writing was great and the character development was also nicely done as well. Even though we have seen the concept of main character makes wishes in movies throughout the decades, when it happens in horror, it's that more complex because so many crazy things goes on that you typically wouldn't see in other films. Nonetheless, there's so many good things going for this, and quite frankly, it's also quite the cinematic experience. Now, Indy Navarrete, she did such an amazing job in her role as Nikki. Seriously, this character, she was creepy throughout the movie. I was getting goosebumps during several scenes. There was even one scene, no spoilers, where she goes over the top. I'm like, man, this is such a interesting, remarkable performance. And, the mere fact that Bear was the one that made this wish. He asked for all this. He didn't think that it was going to get bad, but it just got worse throughout the course of the movie. Michael Johnson did such a good job portraying this character. The thing is that I'm not really familiar with his work or even Indy Navarrete, but they had some good chemistry. Now, Curry Baker, I'm not familiar with his work. I know he did a short called Milk and Cereal. He's also going to direct the next Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And considering that Curry Baker actually written the script, I think that was brilliant because the movie does have a little bit of a pacing issue. Not that it's a big problem, it's a slow build up. That's what makes this whole thing so engaging, so complex. Like I said before, this will probably be one of the best horror films this year. And another thing I want to point out, the music was haunting, the cinematography was great, especially with Nikki being in the shadows. I like how they did all that. At the end of the day, definitely a horror film to remember. This will be talked about for so many years to come. And if you're interested in checking this out, definitely go out and see this in theaters because it is well worth the price of admission. I'm giving this film a 8 out of 10. Yeah, Curry Barker did such an amazing job with this. He definitely knocked out the park. Now, I'm not saying this is one of the best horror movies of all time, but like I said earlier, it is certainly one of the best of this year so far. If I had any complaints here, it's a minor one. It does take a while for things to really pick up, but other than that, I really just had an enjoyable time with this film. This will no doubt be on a lot of people's radar because it does a lot of interesting things to keep it from being a bore fest. And that's my review of Obsession. Alright, leave your comments down below in the section and let me know what you think about this movie. Okay, this is Slim Guy 172 saying peace out.